Unfortunately, we couldn't find a fourth player to play with our family, so I will do a Bridge Master hand instead now. Okay. So East opened the spade, which is very, very interesting, obviously. Noting that he has a 5 card spade suit, which is biddable. And we end up in a 6 heart contract. Now the 5 card spade suit by East is no good news, I suppose, since he's very likely to have at least 2 of the top 3 cards in spades. And he is sitting, if we have a play spades from south, East is sitting behind. So he will save his high cards even if we ruff 3 spades. So ruffing a spade high isn't really a valuable option. Let's count losers. We don't have a trump loser, obviously. Counting from South's perspective, there are, I have to say, 5 or 6 potential spade losers and 1 club loser. Now that seems pretty horrible, given we can only allow 1 loser, but of course it's not as bad, I suppose, since we can ruff some spade losers in dummy. We could finesse the clubs. We have the ace of diamonds to part with one of our spade losers. There's absolutely no choice to be made in track 1, obviously, for both hands. Trumps split at least once. But now, of course, we need to make a plan, and this could take a while, I'm sorry. We could finesse the clubs, like I said, but that's very likely to fail since East opened, so East obviously has no high card points in hearts. Well, he could have enough high card points for an opening quite easily, I suppose. He could have them all only in spades and diamonds, actually. So he doesn't need to have the king of clubs necessarily, but he is a favorite to hold the king of clubs. So the finesse is also most likely to fail in clubs. I could potentially try a ruffing finesse in clubs. Play the ace of clubs, play the ace of diamonds and discard the other club, and then start playing the queen or jack of clubs from dummy and hoping that East plays the king. Otherwise I discard one of my spade losers. But I have 6 to deal with, which is an awful lot. That could possibly develop 1 club winner in dummy. So, because East will play the king at some point, either when I play the queen or the jack. And yes, I can ruff that, but when I ruff it, it doesn't give me an opportunity to pitch a spade. What about the diamond suit? I'm a bit puzzled about the purpose of that. since counting losers doesn't give us much progress, to be brutally honest. I mean, 6 spade losers is just gargantuan, and we're just looking at ways to possibly eliminate 1 or 2 losers some way or the other, which is not good enough. Also, we can ruff spades only twice, because dummy has the lowest trumps in the game, and West will be out of spades after 2 rounds maximally. East could have a 6-card spade suit, he could have been out of spades immediately, or after just 1 round of spades. So there's not really much potential in terms of pitching losers there. I mean, this is a very grim prospect. So I think I'm shifting attention to just making 12 winners. We have 1 already. Obviously the aces of diamond and clubs are 2 and 3. Our 4 trumps in hand are obviously 4, 5, 6 and 7. And now, I mean, even 4 hearts would be a very challenging contract, I suppose. But 6? Well, I'm not sure if 4 hearts would be that challenging, because we could just lead the spades, and East will win them, and he can never return clubs. So East must continue spades. And I guess at some point he has to develop our spade suit. But again, he will have at least 2 winners at that stage. So that's all pretty useless. Maybe West has like a singleton high spade. It's not completely out of the question, out of the books. I'm tempted actually to just ruff a spade immediately, just to look which split I'm actually given by the bridge master. I don't want to play the club finesse myself. I don't think that's helpful. I will lose a trick to East at some point, pretty sure. And maybe I can force him to lead clubs for me. That would be really helpful. Then there is no club loser. I'm still puzzled about the diamond suit, because what could be East distribution? It could be anything. He has at least 5 spades, so 5. 1, 4, 3 or something like that. I mean, there's a gazillion possibilities. Let me see, what was actually our bidding over the 1 spade? We bid 2 hearts. Yeah, acceptable. We had a very strong 5-card heart suit, obviously, yeah. I was a bit curious if we didn't have that strong heart suit, what we would bid over 1 spade opening with this spade suit. I usually have trouble with those situations. I usually bid no trump, even if I don't have nearly an equal distribution in my hand. But at least with a no trump bid, I assure partner that I'm not worrying about spade suit. which is a very important information for him because he is most likely very short in that suit. Yeah, not seeing much here to be honest. I would like to rough 2 rounds of spades maybe. Just to see what's up. I could rough back twice to hand, that's perfectly valid. If I now need a third spade, West will rough, presumably. And I'm never able to overruff in North, since North had the lowest 4 trumps to begin with. So should I draw 1 round of trumps first? Or should I just use that as an entry back? Maybe that's better. So rough a spade, play 1 trump from dummy to enter back. And maybe the trumps are already drawn at that point. They could split 2-2, they could split 3-1. But regardless, I will rough another spade, obviously. Because maybe that second spade rough holds and a third spade rough is never gonna hold. But this looks very grim. Yes, I could exit a spade to east at some point, I guess. But what will he even return? I could draw 1 round of trumps to not allow a further trump exit by the opponents. Maybe trumps are drawn at that stage. And then exit a spade somehow. Because I really want dummies trumps to rough high spades only. I don't want dummies trumps to rough a low spade trick, on which both opponents then can follow low. That's I'm not seeing much, guys. Also, East can pretty much always exit a diamond, I suppose. I could rough back and forth twice. Maybe play East out of diamonds, maybe. If I also play the ace. For that, East would have to have at most 3 diamonds. Well, we need a shit ton of luck to make this, I think. If you play at a tournament and you actually bid 6 hearts with this hand and make it in the declarer play, I mean, you should apply for the World Championship, I guess. Because this is utterly ridiculous for a normal bridge. 4 hearts would be a challenging but acceptable contract. Not that challenging. 4 hearts is fine. But Do I want to draw trumps now? Do I want to go off spades? I suppose this is a hand where we need more than one try. Because I'm not seeing very much at this point. Yes, I see possibilities to make a trick here or there, maybe make one trick via a squeeze or something. But we are very far away from 12. So should we actually just intend to develop the spade suit? And I mean, this seems absolutely hopeless. East has 5 spades, so we will never develop a length trick in spades. So we have to make a value trick in spades at some point. So the ace, king and queen, 3 high cards have got to go. We can only use one trick, so this whole shenanigan of forcing East to return something, maybe a high spade, so that we can at least rough one of his high spades, or maybe a club, so that we don't have to rely on the club finesse anymore. I mean, all of those things we can only use once, since we can only use one trick. So we need to be very careful and deliberate about when we lose that trick. This is why these hands are more like a puzzle than they are an actual bridge declare play, because thinking for this long would of course never fly in a bridge tournament or anything like that. I haven't played any yet, but I suppose they wouldn't be acceptable of that. Okay, now, do I actually maybe need to rely on the club finesse? And just assume that it works, since we have no chance otherwise anyway. So, developing 12 tricks, how far are we in that? We can rough maybe 2 spades, if the club finesse works. We could make 3 club tricks. We have one trick. We could rough 2 spades to make it 3. We could make 3 club tricks. 6. A diamond trick, which is 7. And then we could cash our 4 high trumps in hand to bring the count to 11. But still, there is, even if everything works, if we can rough spades twice and the club finesse holds, even then we are down 1 trick. This looks awful. So what's the general strategy? Just make 12 tricks by cross-waffling, or whichever method you may try, or dummy reversal is also a very popular term for just making the number of tricks you require rather than eliminating losers. Or is the strategy actually developing a spade trick? mean, East can just always exit a diamond. There's no problem whatsoever. Maybe diamond split 4-4 so that the fifth diamond in dummy becomes a winner in the very end. In that case, I would... Yeah, I have enough dummy entries for sure. I mean, I can ruff spades twice. I have the ace queen of clubs possibly as entries. So there are maybe 4 dummy entries. Which I would need to develop the diamond suit. Is that what I'm going for, maybe? Draw the trumps. Since I cannot ruff into dummy 3 times anyway, there's no way to do it, because if I play spades 3 times, West happily makes an overruff. Or makes a ruff which I can't overruff. And I think losing a trick to West is totally wrong. If anything, I want to lose it to East, so that he either has to get rid of one of his high spades by playing it and allowing me to ruff it, or playing into the club finesse. Maybe I just need that club finesse anyway. I mean, I'm very thinking about a very, very primitive strategy right now. Just draw the trumps in one round. Rough spades, rough diamonds back. Rough spades, rough diamonds back. Then we have 6 tricks in the back. Finesse clubs. Play the ace of diamonds, rough diamonds back. Finesse clubs again. That's 10 tricks. And then finesse the club again. No, I lost the count a little bit. If draw trumps is trick 2, then ruffing spade, ruffing diamond, ruffing spade, ruffing diamond. We had 6 tricks now. Finessing clubs, 7. Draw the ace of diamonds is 8. Ruffing a diamond back is 9. We are now both out of trumps. Finessing in clubs would be 10. The ace of clubs, or the final club winner, would be 11, and the final diamond winner in dummy would be 12. How unlikely is this to work? I mean, this has to be below 1%. It just has to be. Diamonds need to split 4-4. West needs to have the king of clubs. West also needs to have 2 spades, and trumps need to split 2-2 for that to work. Four terrible assumptions. Don't think I can waste the dummy entry, so I should draw trumps from hand. Because if I want to develop diamonds, I need 4 dummy entries. 2 by ruffing spades and 2 in clubs somehow. That's why I also need the club finesse, obviously. I mean, this is not going to work maybe in trick 1, but... No, they don't split at all. Alright, we still have to execute our plan and hope that West basically does nothing the whole time. But it's already unmakeable, I guess, at that point. There's a low spade from both sides. Maybe we should have let this one go. Maybe. Well, just ruffle low diamond back. See you later, alligator. West has two low spades, yeah. It was the most likely from the start, actually. So our spades are all losers now, since the ace, king, and queen are all still in play. I want to just see if the club finesse works, or if that also fails. Because if that also fails, we are in a terrible situation. Let's catch the ace of diamonds while we can. Okay, East is out of diamonds, that doesn't hurt. East doesn't have trumps. Now play that final club finesse. Yeah, and now I think we will never see the light of day again. West probably has like 3 diamond winners in hand. Does it help to read the diamond and force West to rough? We don't have a fork position in diamond clubs, do we? No, he has a diamond and he has a trump. This was horrible. So this was the actual distribution. West holding 5 diamonds and trump split 3-1. I mean, the strategy wouldn't even have worked if trump split 2-2, since the diamonds also didn't split. So back to the drawing board. No choice in trick 1. East is likely to have a singleton trump. Does that 4 of clubs in dummy maybe hold any significance? I mean, it is the lowest club out there, so it could only develop if both opponents somehow part with all of their clubs. What am I overlooking, guys? I can draw one more round of trumps. Maybe develop the diamonds. At least I want to play diamonds like at least to the point where East might not be able to return diamonds. But the club finesse actually worked, so I don't think forcing East to return clubs is a big of a deal. If our strategy requires the club finesse to work anyway, we can actually just play it. But what does the club finesse in and of itself actually do? Yes, it develops 1 extra club winner in dummy if we finesse twice. Which is usually a very good thing. The ace of diamonds, we can discard a second spade on that. We can obviously ruff two spades. And we may lose one spade, so there's only one spade loser we need to take care of now. This is at least somewhat plausible. But trumps don't split. So no fantasies about... I somehow want to keep the ace of diamonds as a stopper against West. Don't know how, but because West doesn't stop anything other than diamonds. But somehow this feels right. Draw one round of trumps and we see a 3-1 distribution. But we can't draw the last trump yet. That would be suicidal. Can if we play like 5 rounds of diamonds, with West winning one of them and us ruffing 3, he's somehow in trouble regarding his discards. Maybe. But then we also have no entry back, so our spade threat in south becomes absolutely useless at that point. The 4 of clubs is the lowest clubs. If that were like a 9, and playing east would be interesting again. But if the club finesse holds anyway, it's not interesting. So I was thinking about like ruffing 2 rounds of spades right now and ruffing 2 rounds of diamonds back. Executing a finesse in clubs. Ruffing a 3rd diamond back. Now West has a trump, but I have one trump left, which is obviously higher. And then just maybe exiting a doing a second club finesse and drawing the club. No, not trying the club, since I think at that point West might be able to discard a club. I need to guess West's distribution anyway. But at that point I can count it. At that point it's no problem. So yeah, let's try it. Let's try ruffing spades immediately. And ruffing diamonds back twice. So ultimately I want to like squeeze against East. Maybe I should keep one club finesse. So I need two club finesses. One of them I can make. But I think I should keep the other one. And exit diamonds at some point to West. Since if West then returns another diamond, I want to squeeze against East, basically. So, yeah, rough another diamond back. Or maybe it's better to draw the ace first, actually. Let's do that, so East cannot ruff. We will stop the diamonds with our trumps, no problem. So what I was thinking about was ruffing this, finessing the clubs once, only once, and then exiting diamonds to West. West now can't read spades back, he doesn't have a spade. East discards clubs. An interesting choice. So maybe the four of clubs does develop. I will discard a spade, obviously. West wins. Ah, okay, this is it. West leads the king of clubs and destroys my entry. I was hoping for West to return a diamond. I would ruff it. I would draw the last trump, and East would need to come down to 3 cards, which would possibly need to be our clubs, and then he would be out of spades. And if they weren't our clubs, I could finesse the clubs, and at the end, the 4 of clubs in dummy would be good. But this king of clubs destroys my dreams pretty hard. Maybe I should have ducked that to West earlier, actually. Because I don't really care if West returns a diamond. That's completely fine for me. Yeah, let's do this whole same thing, but let's duck the diamond at the beginning, not the end. We can draw the ace first. I don't think that hurts. But then, no ruffing a diamond. Or maybe ruffing a diamond because we need to eliminate spades. West should be able to return a spade. That's not good. I want him to return diamonds. So later East. So we have enough diamond tricks in total so that East comes in sort of a predicament when it comes to discarding. Yeah. So my ultimate strategy is now to squeeze against East. I lose a diamond trick to West, I don't care. But by that we also East, when I play out those diamonds and hearts, East also needs to find suitable discards, which could be a problem. So we win this trick. I think ruffing a spade is correct. I can draw the ace immediately. That one, at any point we can draw that. Don't see any reason why not. I will stop the diamonds from rest with my trumps anyway. And I don't want to be a dummy. So we need to ruff one more. Ruff spades back maybe. But now is the situation I should think about because well, I'm a dummy. I think I will just duck a diamond right now. I don't want to do a club finesse yet, since if I do one club finesse, West makes the other for me and I have no entries anymore. So I think it's time to now lose a trick to West. West can lead his trump back if he wants, I don't care at all. He doesn't have a spade, that's the important thing. Yeah, but I not lose it to West, that's the problem. Lose it to East? I don't really want to lose it to East. Maybe that isn't that awful, but yeah, it is awful, since East just gives West a spade ruff right now. Or maybe I should lead a spade back and not just let West ruff. I don't really care about that. I wanted to lose a trick to West anyway, why just not let him ruff? Yeah, let's do that. Because I can't let East make this trick, that's terrible. Okay, you wanna ruff? Fine. I wanna squeeze in spades and clubs, so the diamonds are guarded by West and they are useless. I have a trump entry back to hand, which is good. So this one I need to ruff, obviously. And now if I go for the club finesse, I play the 5 of hearts back. And I think on that 5 of hearts East is squeezed. Since he needs to hold 4 clubs basically at this point to prevent the 4 of clubs from making the last trick. Yeah, that's actually, why didn't I think about that earlier? Just let West ruff. I mean, if I want to lose a trick in diamonds to West, and diamonds is completely irrelevant, then I can just equally just let him ruff a spade. Doesn't hurt. And he at least then cannot cause any trouble with his trump anymore. So I think on this... Oh, there is another trump out there. Right. Shoot. I think it might be the case now that West stops the club suit. In this particular layout of the hands. I think West stops. And we are so close, damn. I mean, this was really close. But something about this was not correct. But I think I know what it is, since we enter the trump back to hand in the end. And we could have done that earlier actually. If we do it anyway, we turn to a hand by means of a trump, then why wait? At least we can draw the trumps with that. But I wanted to eliminate diamonds. No, that's not correct what I say. I wanted to eliminate the 3 diamonds from East so that East was never able to cause trouble with a spade. But maybe losing against East actually isn't that big of a trouble. As long as West still has a spade, right. So, I rough a spade right now. I don't want to play a club finesse since I need them for later entries. And now I maybe can cash the ace first. Yeah, the diamonds are pretty much irrelevant. So I think catching the ace first is fine. But then I want to exit a low diamond. Yeah, East makes it. I don't think that can hurt us too much now. And he returns a trump. Okay, I would have entered back to hand in trumps. Anyway, now trumps split, so trumps are gone. So I could rough a third spade as an entry, which is really nice. Yeah, I need to. And I need to rough diamonds back twice. So play this. Rough it obviously, we can't lose a trick. Diamonds we can rough back. So now East is out of diamonds. East now has only spades and clubs left, and hopefully he has 4 clubs. Now we do the first finesse. Rough it. And now I just wanted to play the ace of hearts and look what East discards. He discards the ace of spades. I think my spades are good. Right? No, they're not. Right. No, that wasn't it. And West again stopped the club suit. Damn it. I mean, we're inching ever so close here, idea. But I need East to have 4 clubs at some point. But I think I did something wrong actually. I completely disregarded West in the whole equation, and that at this point I should have discarded the club, yes. Because now West is out of diamonds all of a sudden. And I think now in the end the 3 of diamonds is good because West needed to guard clubs. Yes. Alright, this was it. Oh, damn it. That last one was just very careless. That was just lazy and carelessness. I should have immediately switched plans as soon as West discarded Here's king of diamonds, since I knew that the diamond was good now. That's other carelessness. Yeah, we need the club finesse, but there's still only 11, so that alone doesn't help. Yeah, hope hope for a 4-4 diamond break. That was my first try, but that didn't work. Yeah, he would have had a singleton, so hoping that West has doubled in spade is pretty safe, I think. A singleton in a Trump contract you usually need. After winning the opening lead, we start by roughing a spade, just to enter dummy, not to eliminate spades from West or anything. Yeah, we can cash the ace, that's fine. Yeah, and now just exit the diamond trick to rectify the count for the squeeze, if you will. And at this point, we don't care that East wins it, since if East returns a spade, West still has a spade, so there's no risk of a rough right there. Yeah, East returns a trump, but now we see that trump split 2-2, which is very nice, since we can rough another spade as another entry. Continue with spade rough, yes. A diamond rough in hand. And now I think we do the club finesse. Yes. We need to rough another diamond back. We don't want to lead clubs ourselves. Obviously. Yeah, if both defenders follow this, we can claim. We can do another club finesse, and the 5 of diamonds would be good if both defenders follow diamonds. But they don't. West started with 5 diamonds, but I don't think that hurts, since now we play the king of hearts and West is squeezed this time. Since he needs to hold his king of diamonds, and he also needs to hold the club stopper, since East doesn't have a club stopper. So if West now discards the club, we will just discard the 5 of diamonds from dummy, do a club finesse, and catch all the clubs. Yeah, and the same is actually true with East. The finesse is also sure with him. If East was the one stopping the 4th club, he would have had a problem with spades. So in this case, we play the club finesse, and now East needs to hold on to all of his 4 clubs. And if we now play the king of hearts, yeah, East. When East has 4 clubs, it is necessary to play. If West was dealt only, not only, but also by playing with squeeze without the count. So a squeeze without losing a trick first. Interesting. South can play. Yeah, okay, so we can lose the diamond trick later. So yeah, we will still lose the trick at this point, but If West discards a diamond, we are guaranteed to lose only one diamond trick. And if West discards clubs, well, our clubs are good. Yeah, you can also sometimes squeeze if you still have to lose a trick actually. I mean, and then the squeeze is not like will the opponent make a trick or no trick in that suit, then the squeeze is just to let the opponents make only one trick in the suit instead of two tricks. That's also possible. So that losing of the diamond trick, which we did early, could happen later. But playing it early was a safeguard against East having the club length, because if we want to squeeze against East, that doesn't involve diamonds in any way. So that's only in spades and clubs. So if we want to squeeze against East in some line, we have to lose the diamond trick early. Yeah, since West discarded the diamond, he has only one instead of two diamond tricks, and we can safely just exit the diamond, and the last one is good. Yeah, and his last two tricks. Alright then. That's very... I mean, I heard his terms at a squeeze without the count, but I was never really able to visualize anything with it. But it's actually quite an easy concept, I think. It's just a normal squeeze, but it's not a question in one of the suits whether the opponents have a trick or no trick in that suit. So you don't want to squeeze them out of a trick, but you want to squeeze them out of making two tricks and leave them with just one instead. Alright. Yeah, have a good night. See